Welcome back everyone for another review, and today I'm going to be talking about Speak No Evil, directed by James Watkins. And I know I always do the thing of looking at the trailer, and I really hate to do this because there's a running joke at the moment that everyone has seen this trailer way too many times, but let's look at the trailer.
This is my husband, Ben.
Patrick Feld, this is my wife, Kira.
This is Agnes.
And has some trouble communicating. He can be a bit insecure.
Nice Vespa. Yeah.
So Speak No Evil is a 2024 release written and directed by James Watkins, and it's about when an American family is invited to spend the weekend at the idyllic country estate of a charming British family they befriended on vacation. What begins as a dream holiday soon warps into a snarled psychological nightmare. The film involves a frankly great cast of James McAvoy, Mackenzie Davis, Scoot McNairy, Aisling Franciosi, and Alex West Leffler. So, elephant in the room, this is a remake of a film released only 2 years ago of the same name, directed by Christian Taftrup, that did the rounds at Sundance, I believe, is a very, very bleak film. A film I quite enjoyed, if that makes any sense. I guess enjoyed is the wrong word. More, it affected me fairly deeply. That film was technically Danish and Dutch, but most of it actually is in English. But anyway, we have the full Hollywood treatment here with cast members that we're familiar with and unfortunately tropes that we have seen before. And speaking of seen before is that trailer. I trust that anyone who has gone to the theater in the last, I would say, 4 months has definitely seen that trailer. It's all over the internet. They're pushing the marketing for this film really hard. And the very worst thing about it is, to be completely honest here, and this is maybe a slight spoiler, if you've seen that trailer, you've basically seen the film. Now, before I get ahead of myself, I was prepared to hate this film, but I do actually want to hone in on some of the things I thought it did really, really well. I'm going to come back to that point about the trailer and it kind of spoiling the whole hook of the film and how that compares to the Danish original, but I'll get to that later. To start off really simply, it is very well directed. It is kind of a shot-for-shot remake of the Danish original, but I don't mean that to be reductive. It's definitely no easy task to direct any kind of film. But it does flow well from scene to scene. It's not jarring. There's clearly someone very talented behind the camera. I haven't seen much of what James Watkins has done before, though I do believe he directed one of my favorite ever episodes of Black Mirror, which was Shut Up and Dance, and those who know. But I digress. Yes, this is a well-directed film. To speak on the writing side of things, now this is where I guess Watkins had a fairly difficult task, because the original is fairly ridiculous in what it's doing. Essentially, you have quite a clean-cut normal couple becoming friends with this almost wilder, bit more extravagant kind, and those conversations are never normal in real life, and they're certainly not normal over here. But I do have to admit, there were times I was just like, this is maybe just a bit too on the nose for me. Another, I guess, difficult thing this film had to do is the original plays into the sensibilities, I guess, of Europeans and much more so people from Scandinavia, or specifically Danish people. Now, I'm not Scandinavian or Danish, and I don't know too much about their culture and their sensibilities, but from what I have heard from people from those places, it does play really well onto those sensibilities, and it's actually a very good satire of those things. And what the film has done here by making it an American couple meeting a British couple, and those two worlds colliding, I suppose it is much more relatable for people from, I guess, the West to relate to these sorts of things, and how manners come into play, how social class comes into play, and I think the film is actually successful when it comes to that. And now the thing that everyone is talking about when it comes to this film is James McAvoy. Now, I will get to him, but I want to talk about the other cast members first. Scoot McNairy and Mackenzie Davis are the American couple in this film. They are both actors whose work I have enjoyed very much before, and they're good here. I think Davis has a little bit more to do than McNairy's character. He's kind of going through something, he's maybe slightly neurotic, and she definitely has the more emotional moments of the film, and she's frankly really great. Now, Aisling Franciosi is someone who I actually don't know if I've seen her in anything apart from The Nightingale. Those who know me know that I really enjoyed The Nightingale when I got to see it in Venice in 2018. I think it's a fantastic revenge thriller. I thought she was fantastic in it, and gonna sound like a bit of a broken record, she's really, really great over here. And now to come to McAvoy. This is someone I've always been a fan of. Basically, whatever he does, he is great in everything he does, but I like him most when he's got the freedom to really chew into a role. If no one is familiar with the film Filth, you should definitely seek that out. That's a role where he's really enjoying himself. He's chewing up the scenery, and it's actually a pretty damn good film as well. He did get a lot of mainstream recognition for his role in Split and Glass, where he's playing someone with multiple personality disorder, and those are my favorite kinds of roles for him. And frankly, the role he plays here is great. He does really carry this film from scene to scene. He goes from being really pompous to really charming to actually genuinely pretty scary just in the blink of an eye, and it's really impressive, and he is out and out the best part about this film. Now, to come to the negative thing I have with the film, and it mainly surrounds the marketing of it all. Again, if you haven't seen the trailer, do not seek it out. Go and read what it says on IMDb, just in the little plot description, or on Letterboxd, or whatever website you like, one that doesn't give you too much detail. Because I really hate to say it, if you have seen the trailer for this film, you have basically seen it. One of the best things about the original, and this isn't me harkening on, oh, the original is always the best. The original is a very different flavor. It's definitely a lot bleaker. It is not a pleasant watch in the slightest. But the very best thing about it was it keeps you guessing until the very last scene, which I really do need to stress is really bleak. So if you decide to go and watch that film after hearing what I have to say about it, you have been warned. And obviously, because we're kept guessing, it is made that much more effective. And again, I just come back to, why have they put the main hook of this film into its trailer? All kind of mystery is gone. It becomes a very, very typical and standard Hollywood slasher film, I guess. And it's definitely not bad. I was definitely entertained. McAvoy is great to watch. I'll watch him for 2 hours any day of the week. And I guess you could argue, because I have seen the original film, that I knew that something, I guess, big was going to happen. But also, another difference that this film makes from its predecessor is it does totally change the ending. And that was actually one of my main reasons for going to go and see this film, is because I heard the ending was totally different. And I was like, okay, let's see what they do with this. This is a really, really confusing one for me to review. But I think I have found a way to kind of sum it up. If you want a film that is a bit more mysterious, a bit more slow burn, and 1,000 times more bleak, go and watch the original from 2022. If you just want to entertain yourself and have a decent little thriller with a very good performance in it, you should probably watch this one. If you're asking me and which one I prefer, I do think the original is vastly superior just because of what it did first. And I'm not always a fan of the big Hollywood treatment to things, and this is a really big Hollywood treatment to it. But I also can't say I hated it, and I guess that's good. So there we have it. I think those are my thoughts on Speak No Evil. As I said, a really, really confusing one for me to review. But with that, I want to hear from all of you. If you have seen Speak No Evil, please get involved in the comments. Obviously, don't spoil anything. No one wants to be that person. If you haven't seen it, if you're excited about it, if you've watched this review and you want to go and watch it now, be my guest, get involved. Like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, you know, the whole YouTube algorithm-y thing. I unfortunately was not on the Adlib podcast last Monday, and I don't think I will be there this coming Monday, but you should definitely tune in. The guy's going to be talking about the big Emmy wins, stuff like Shogun and The Bear. That will be at the usual time of 8:30 p.m. in Malta, or 7:30 p.m. if you're in the UK. In terms of what I'll review next, I don't really know. I'm really hoping that Strange Darling actually does get a release in this country. I haven't found somewhere that's going to show it yet, but that's a film I'm very excited to see. But until then, there's the old saying of hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. So keep your tongues in your mouths, and thank you for watching.